I found out my parents left everything to my brother in their will. Not a single thing for me. So I stopped helping them pay the bills and cover their expenses. A month later, I get a text from my mom. No greeting, no pretense of care. Just, the mortgage is due. My name is Gideon, and if I ever harbored a shred of hope about my place in my family, it was obliterated the day I uncovered their will. It wasn't some tear-soaked family meeting where they confessed their decision with trembling voices. No, I stumbled upon it by sheer, gut-wrenching accident, and it ripped through me like a blade. For years, I'd been the one keeping their world from collapsing, paying their mortgage, filling their pantry, patching their crumbling house, while my brother, Silas, lounged in their adoration, contributing nothing but excuses. And yet, there it was in cold, merciless ink. Every last asset, every penny, was going to him. It happened 6 months ago in their sagging house in upstate New York, the same house I'd been propping up for nearly a decade. The mortgage covered it. Groceries when their account was dry, my wallet. The new furnace when theirs died in a January freeze, my savings took the hit. Meanwhile, Silas, my younger brother by 3 years, hadn't lifted a finger. No job, no responsibilities, just a smug grin and an infuriating knack for charming our parents into believing he was their shining star. That day, I was sorting through a mess of paperwork for my dad, Roland, because, as always, he shoved it onto me with a gruff, "You're better at this, Gideon." Bills, tax forms, legal jargon. I was scanning it all when I spotted it. A folder labeled estate plan and last will and testament. My pulse quickened. I'm not one to pry, but after years of bleeding my savings to keep them afloat, I figured I deserved to know what they'd planned. So I opened it. The words hit me like a sledgehammer. Everything, the house, their meager savings, mom's heirloom jewelry, even dad's old Chevy, was going to Silas. Not a whisper of my name, except for a hollow, insulting line about how they cherished both their sons equally. Equally? The lie burned in my chest. I'd been their financial backbone, their fixer, their safety net, while Silas mooched off their indulgence. And this was my reward? A betrayal so blatant it made my vision blur. I sat there, the paper trembling in my hands, rage and hurt clawing at my insides. How long had they planned this? Was I always just their cash machine, disposable once they drained me? Did they ever give a damn about what I'd sacrificed? The questions tore through me, each one sharper, angrier than the last. I didn't hear my dad shuffle back into the room. "Gideon, you done yet?" he barked, like I was some slacker. I didn't hide the will. I thrust it in his face, my voice a low, dangerous growl. "This is how it is? Everything to Silas? After everything I've done?" His face blanched, but only for a moment before he sighed, like I was throwing a childish fit. "Gideon, you're blowing this out of proportion." "Blowing it out of proportion?" I roared, my voice shaking the air. "I've been paying your mortgage, buying your groceries, fixing your damn house, while Silas does nothing, and you hand him everything?" He shifted, avoiding my eyes. "It's not that simple. Not that simple." The dismissal was like gasoline on my rage. I shouted for my mom, Evelyn. She shuffled in, a dish towel in her hands, and when she saw the will, her eyes widened, but she didn't flinch. She knew. "Gideon's sweetheart," she said, her voice dripping with patronizing calm. "You don't need an inheritance. You're successful, independent. Silas, he's struggling. We just want to make sure he's okay." That was it, the moment something inside me snapped. They weren't oblivious. They were complicit. They'd spent years enabling Silas's laziness, and now they were crowning it with their entire legacy, while I, the one who'd carried them, was tossed aside like trash. My voice dropped to a chilling whisper. Got it, crystal clear where I stand. I slammed the will onto the table, my heart pounding with betrayal. "You made your choice." I stormed out, their weak protests echoing behind me as I slammed the door so hard the frame rattled. They'd chosen Silas. Now I was choosing myself. For weeks I cut them off. No calls, no visits, no money. For the first time in years, I let them drown in their own mess. Leaky pipes? Call a plumber. Empty fridge? Figure it out. Mortgage due? Not my problem. I figured they'd expect me to cave, to slink back like the dutiful son they'd manipulated for years. But I was done with their lies, their entitlement, their betrayal. Then, a month later, my phone buzzed with Mom's text. The mortgage is due. No warmth, no apology, just a cold demand, like I was still their ATM. I stared at it, my blood boiling, a bitter laugh escaping my lips. They really thought I'd roll over after they'd stabbed me in the back? I typed back, Silas can handle it. This is his house, right? 5 minutes later, my phone rang. Mom. I let it ring out. Another text. Gideon, please. We need to talk. Talk? Now that their world was crumbling without my money, I waited, letting the anger simmer, then replied. You made your choice. Live with it. I thought that would shut them up. But Silas jumped in that night, his text oozing arrogance. Dude, stop being a drama queen. Just help them out like always. The nerve of him. I was shaking with rage, my fingers flying over the keyboard. You've got it covered, golden boy. Pay up. His reply was instant. You're seriously mad about the will? Grow up, man. It's just money. Just money? The hypocrisy made my vision red. Then use some of that money you're inheriting to pay the damn mortgage. Silence. Then Mom texted again, pulling the guilt card. Gideon, we're your parents. Family takes care of each other. We gave you everything growing up, and now you're abandoning us. Abandoning them? I'd carried them for years while they coddled Silas and planned my erasure. I shot back, you abandoned me when you wrote me out of the will. Silas can play savior now. Dad's text came next, his words dripping with venom. You're going to let us lose the house? Don't be so damn selfish. Selfish? The word was a match to my fury. I'd sacrificed everything. My savings, my time, my peace, for them. And now I was the villain? I typed back, my hands trembling. I'm done. Deal with it. Then I shut off my phone, my heart pounding with righteous anger. The silence lasted a day, but I knew they wouldn't quit. The next morning, I got a bank notification. A transfer request for $4,500 from Mom. No message, no shame, just a bold assumption I'd cave. I laughed. A harsh, bitter sound, and declined it instantly. My phone rang immediately. Mom again. I ignored it. Her text followed. Gideon, why did you decline it? We need that money. I typed back, my words sharp. Not my problem. Ask Silas. Another call. Ignored. Another text. We'll lose the house if you don't help. Lose the house? They had savings, they just didn't want to touch them because I'd always been their fallback. I replied, you should have thought of that before deciding I was worthless. Dad's text hit next. Pure manipulation. You're going to let your parents end up on the street? I laughed. A cold, furious sound. They weren't destitute, they were just entitled. I ignored them. That night, Silas texted again. Just send the money, man. You're blowing this out of proportion. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. You mean the money you're getting? Pay it yourself. His response was pathetic. I don't have that kind of cash right now. Of course not. He was fine leeching off me. But when it was his turn, he was broke. I fired back. Figure it out, bro. You're their chosen one. The next day, things exploded. I was at work when my apartment's front desk called. Gideon, your parents are here. They say it's an emergency and you're not answering. My heart stopped. They showed up at my place? Over unpaid bills? I gripped the phone, my voice low. Don't let them up. They're not welcome. They're insistent, the receptionist said nervously. I don't care, I snapped. Tell them to leave. I hung up, my phone buzzing with Mom's text. We're downstairs. Open the door. No apology, just demands. Another text. Gideon, we're not leaving until you talk to us. My blood was lava. They thought they could bully me into submission? I grabbed my keys, stormed downstairs, every step fueling my rage. I flung the door open, and there they were. Mom, Dad, and Silas, standing like a tribunal ready to judge me. Mom's arms were crossed, her face a mask of practiced disappointment. Dad stood rigid, his eyes burning with entitlement. Silas, the parasite, looked annoyed, like I was wasting his time. Gideon, finally, Mom said, her voice thick with drama. We need to talk. I leaned against the doorframe, my voice ice cold. No, you need to get the hell out. You don't ambush me at my home, demanding money. That's insane. Dad scoffed, his voice sharp. You're going to let us lose our home over some petty grudge? Petty? I roared, my voice echoing off the walls. You wrote me out of your will. I've paid your bills, fixed your house, kept you fed, while Silas sits on his ass, And you give him everything. Mom gasped, clutching her pearls like I'd struck her. Gideon, that's unfair. We did what was best for the family. Best for Silas, I shouted, pointing at him. Just admit it. Silence, thick and suffocating. Silas finally spoke, his tone smug. I didn't ask for this, man. I don't even want to be here. I rounded on him, my voice venomous. No, you just take everything you're given. You're 27, Silas. Get a damn job. His face flushed. What the hell, dude? You heard me? I snarled, stepping closer. Want the house? Pay for it. Want to be their favorite? Start acting like it. I'm done bankrolling you. Mom's voice was pleading now. Gideon, he's your brother. And I've carried him longer than you have. I shot back. Dad's eyes narrowed. You're being selfish. I laughed. A jagged, furious sound. Selfish? You decided Silas gets everything and I get nothing. Now you're facing the consequences, and you're trying to guilt me into fixing it. Not happening. Mom's tone turned sharp. We thought you'd be mature about this. Mature? I sneered. You mean keep paying your bills while you spit in my face? That's what you wanted, isn't it? Dad stepped forward, his voice low and threatening. We raised you, Gideon. We gave you everything. The least you can do is help us now. I met his stare, unflinching. I helped for years. You repaid me by erasing me. Mom's eyes welled up. We thought you'd understand. I do, I said, my voice steady but lethal. I was just a paycheck to you. Silence again. I turned to Silas, who was staring at the ground like a coward. And you? What's your excuse? You've had years to grow up, but you didn't because you knew they'd coddle you. And you thought I'd pick up the slack forever. Didn't you? Silas exploded. I didn't ask for this. You didn't have to. I spat. You just took it. Mom tried one last time, her voice trembling. Gideon, we're family. Family takes care of each other. I stared at her, my chest tight with years of suppressed rage. Then why didn't you take care of me? She froze, speechless. Exhaled, the anger draining into cold resolve. We're done. I turned and walked away, slamming the door behind me, the sound ringing in my ears like a declaration of war. I blocked their numbers, thinking it was over, but I underestimated their desperation. The next day, social media lit up with their attacks. Mom, who could barely use her phone, posted, I didn't raise my son to be so heartless. True family sacrifices, no matter what. Her friends piled on, calling me ungrateful, a disgrace. Dad's post was a knife. Family doesn't abandon you when you need them. We gave our son everything, and now he's turned his back on us. I hope you're proud, Gideon. Silas predictably joined in. Some people think family is about money, not love. I'd do anything for my parents, but some are too selfish to see that. I wish they knew what family means. I was shaking, my vision clouded with fury. They'd made me the villain, the heartless son who betrayed their love. I'd carried them for years, and now they were dragging my name through the mud? I wasn't going to let them win. I took a breath, steadying my trembling hands, and opened Facebook. I wasn't playing their game of veiled jabs. I was done hiding. I've stayed silent, but no more. My family's been painting me as the selfish son who won't help them. Here's the truth. For years, I've paid their mortgage, bought their groceries, kept their house standing. I've drained my savings to keep them afloat while my brother, Silas, has done nothing. He's 27, jobless, and enabled by my parents his entire life. When I found out they left everything to him in their will, I saw the truth. I was never family, just a wallet. They didn't even consider me. I'm done being used. I'm a person, and I deserve respect. Silas, it's time to grow up. If you want the house, pay for it. To my parents, you made your choice. I wish you well, but I'm done being your doormat. Family is about mutual respect. And I've given enough. I hit post, my heart racing but lighter. The truth was out. Friends, cousins, even some of my parents' old acquaintances messaged me, shocked at what I'd endured. It was liberating to finally be heard. My family went ballistic. Silas texted, "You're a traitor. Airing our business like that? You're no family." Dad called, screaming, "You've destroyed us. Gideon, you'll regret this." I didn't. I blocked them all, Mom, Dad, Silas. For the first time, I was free from their toxic grip. The days after were quiet, a strange, exhilarating peace. I focused on my life, My job, my friends, my future. I'd spent so long carrying them that I'd forgotten how to live for myself. I don't regret cutting them off. I deserve better, and I'm choosing to surround myself with people who value me, not my wallet. It's time to move forward, and I'm doing it my way. What do you think? Share your thoughts below.